Welcome back to another episode of COZCAST. Today, we're doing another album swap. Oh my god, it's been a while. I'm excited, are you?
I sure am. It's been a while.
So, you girl gave me an album by Aly and AJ, a pop duo. Their third album, and excuse my pronunciation, Insomniac, right, ranked number 15. It's their highest rating one. To this date on the US Billboard. But we're going to be looking at this 10-year deluxe. Now, why is that like a more modern thing, deluxe? Like, because the only thing deluxe I ever see is usually on a menu, you know?
Well, the album that I sent you, so they released like a bunch of singles and one EP, and those are the singles
And
and the
they
one
kind of like
EP put
compile them.
together. Yeah.
But back then, they called that a collection. But a deluxe, like, what does deluxe even mean? Oh, we can talk about that later. Um, so Take Me is the first one, and I kind of, I didn't know what to expect getting into this, but I liked it. It was okay. It was a 5 out of 10 for me. It was
your your ratings are like you're like, oh, it's good, and then you're like 2 out of 10.
There might be a 3 or 2 in here. Hope it's a very hopeful song. It's for the first song on the album. It's a good start, and it brings a lot of promise to what's to come. Speaking of, I Know is a 3 out of 10 for me. It's it's much darker than the first one, like, I think it's the darkest song on there. And I feel like they use, like, the deeper voice as a metaphor, like, possession. They use possession as a metaphor for depression, because I feel like that's what the song's about, right?
That's how you feel.
Well, The Distance is another 5 out of 10. Again, a very hopeful song, yet mournful. It had a very sad kinda tune to it, you know?
I feel like all their songs are sad.
So, what's the opposite of sadness? Happiness. And what brings happiness? Some good love, which is the next song. 3 out of 5. Good
Oh
love
my gosh.
good love can be a name, and I feel like that's funny to me because the song is about, like, finding someone, searching for that person. But I feel like it's the best one out of the bunch.
Oh, what? But it's 3 out of 10?
Yes.
I guess I can understand.
I think I do have another one that's higher. Okay. With You is another 5 out of 10. And, 5 is an okay song. 3, by the way, to me, it's more like it could be better. Even
Mhm.
though I just said that the other one was the best one out of the bunch. Um, With You really is inspiring to me. It makes me want to stop everything I'm doing. Like, it's like, stop listening to this album, go out there and find some love for that sad girl. She needs some of that love.
Oh, but you're not a sad boy?
I'm not a sad boy. I'm a very happy boy. Happy boys, what they do? They go to church. And that's the next song on this album. And this one, can you guess which one how I rate it?
Please no.
I gave it a 10 out of 10.
Oh my god, that's my favorite song. I feel so validated.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. It's very nice, very good. No. And coming up is Don't Go Changing. 7 out of 10. Now, when I like something, I just like it, like, it's just something about it that just catches me and I can't really explain it. I give it a 7 out of 10. It wasn't like, oh my god, it's so good. It was nice. Star Maps. Now that's a 3 out of 10 for me. After the past, like the past few seconds in the song, it made me feel irritated. I just didn't like the lyrics. It was too upbeat. It was just way too upbeat for me.
I don't even remember how this song sounds like because I don't listen to it because I don't like it either.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. That one had to be one of the worst ones, in my opinion. Not ready to wake up. Now, this one got a 6 out of 10. It's a little bit above okay. I don't, it's I won't listen to it like I won't go out of my way to search this song up. I would just like listen to it if it happens to play on the radio or on a playlist on Spotify. No, I wouldn't skip it.
Mhm.
Now, Sanctuary. 3 out of 10.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel right. I feel like this song, if you took it out of the album, it would be just fine.
So it doesn't add anything special?
No, I think if anything, that one's the most mediocre of all of them. Um, Attack of Panic. 9 out of 10. The name itself is very anxiety inducing, and so is the song. I really did feel the heartache and like that chest clenching
Mm.
with the song. All right. Now, the grand finale, Joan of Arc. This song, wait, hon, that's not the full title. Joan of Arc on the Dance Floor. This song it caught me off guard. I was not expecting to like the name like was like confused me, and then I listened to the song and it was like, wow, this is strange. 5 out of 10. It was okay. It was okay. Now, Joan of Arc is known for being a liberator. And I feel like they're using her as a metaphor or maybe symbolism of liberating themselves from, the lifestyle of going to the club. Because it's a club song. And they even talk about being at a club and like dancing until the mascara runs down the floor. And it's a very strange one. But, whatever. It's a good song to play at the club if you're at the club. Maybe play at home if you're alone.
It's a COVID song, so blast it in your room alone.
Now, in total, there's 13 songs, and I only listed 12. And you, girl, pointed it out to me. So, what's the song I'm missing again?
It's called Promises,
And can you tell me about it?
and well, it was my favorite song for a long time until Church came out, the 10 out of 10 song. So I was looking forward to what you would have said about it. But now that I've like listened to this song for a few years, I don't really care about it as much anymore, but you can listen to it on your own time if you want.
Yeah, maybe I'll listen to it and then record a little bit, talk about it, and maybe like submit it somewhere. Maybe at the very end after the outro music. But I recommend this album, and it will be in the description. Um, I recommend to listen to these lovely ladies. I mean, like your girl knows a lot of bands and groups that I would have never ever have found without her recommendation. And speaking of, their music is very Taylor Swifty, even though they predate Taylor Swift by 2 years. I just get that Swifty kind of in there. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean?
Is it the writing?
Maybe because Taylor Swift is known for that, but their writing is it's not all about breakups and boys and stuff.
Okay, neither is Taylor's, but anyway.
And their dynamic also reminds me of another group called Heart, and Heart is a duo of two sisters, and they're a rock group. Are they sisters? Are they friends? Who are these people?
No,
Aly
they're
and AJ.
sisters.
Oh my God! Wow, so I was spot on about that. Yeah, they're very Heart-esque. You ever heard a song from Heart?
Maybe if you
Barracuda.
say maybe. Is it an old
Barracuda.
song?
Yes, it is an old song. Like hippie
Then
era.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably yes.
60s and 70s. Um, you know, I think they grew up in like the 70s, or like the 80s because their music is very techno-ish. It's new wave-ish. Um, This one album. I didn't hear any other albums or songs. Um, so, you
Well,
know,
they like got popular through Disney, so like their first couple of albums were like more aimed towards
it's true.
like preteens and stuff.
Uh-huh.
So it was kind of like Miley Cyrus, like how her old songs sounded and then evolved.
Mm-hmm.
But shall we move on to my album?
Wait. Well, yeah, okay.
Or did you have something else to say?
No, let's go on to your album.
I was surprised that you liked this. Like, I don't know, whenever I think about the music that you listen to, I think of like, I don't know, like like old man stuff. Like I don't know how to describe it. But anyway, the album that you boy gave me is called Fire on Marzz from BENEE. And I didn't look up anything about BENEE, so I don't know anything about her. Is it one person? Is it a group? I don't know.
BENEE is a person.
Is that their real name?
I don't know anything about BENEE either. They kind of got recommended to me on Spotify. Their music is very Billie Eilish-esque, you know?
Hmm.
And so I was listening to Billie Eilish, and that's how she got into the mix. She was recommended to me, so I
Okay.
listened, and
Yeah,
yeah.
then I can see that because now that you pointed out, it is similar. But okay, the first song is called Soak. Soaked. ED. It's past tense.
Hmm.
I have a love-hate relationship with this song. I like it, but I don't care for it. And I don't know, it doesn't stick out that much to me, even though it's supposed to be the opening song, but like I just don't care about it. So 6 out of 10.
Hmm.
The next song is Glitter, and it sounds like the song that she's most popular for, which I have heard because of TikTok.
Yes.
And when it started playing, I thought it was that song, so I was like, "Oh, I'm familiar with this." But then I realized it wasn't, so it kind of bothers me that it sounds the same, at least to
Hmm.
me. But there are parts that I do like about it, so 5 out of 10. Wishful thinking. Um 7 out of 10. I don't know
Oh
what to
yeah.
say about it. It's just, it's just like nice to listen to. Afterlife. This one is really catchy and I like the idea behind it. And, it's an interesting concept to think about the afterlife. And the lyrics are funny too. It says, "In this afterlife, I'll prove that you're ugly." So, did that resonate with you?
I did like Glitter and Afterlife are my two favorite ones out of the album.
Oh. But I gave Afterlife 8 out of 10.
Mm.
Evil Spider. It's a song about liking someone, and there's a million songs that are about liking someone, but this one, it's portrayed in an interesting way. She compares herself to a spider, and
Yeah.
I mean, that's something new. So 9 out of 10, and I like the way she says spider.
Oh yeah, I think I sent that song to you a long time ago, like on its own.
You might have because the cover did look familiar when I brought up the album. I
Mhm.
was like, I feel like I've looked at this before. Okay, last song is called Want You Back, and I like this one the most. It's easy to listen to, it's a good closer. I put it in my playlist, 10 out of 10. Overall, I think I would give it like 7 out of 10.
I've actually put two songs from this album into two separate playlists. I think Attack of Panic I put into my Halloween playlist.
Ooh!
Um, and I might have put Church into another playlist. I forget which one I have. But so they started from Disney or at Disney?
I don't think they started with Disney. I think it was kind of like same thing happened with the Jonas Brothers. Like they were already a band, but then like Disney made them popular.
Okay, because I saw there. let's see. I think their first record deal was like in 2004. Um, I think it was like in Hollywood, classic Hollywood records.
Yes, that's what
Um,
it says according to Wikipedia.
yeah. I mean, you can't really trust Wikipedia. Like, I know it is reliable, it's a reliable source, but, people can change it. And I definitely have seen Wikipedia pages where some things don't quite make sense. You know, so my information might be false, but, the internet, you gotta take what you can get these times. But it's very interesting. Disney, were they ever on any shows, or were they just exclusively like songwriters? Or
Um, I know one of them was on a show, and then both of them had their own movie together.
oh, what movie?
It's called Cowbells, and they go to work on a farm or in a factory with milk.
Okay.
It's an old movie. I don't remember what happens.
Okay, I can kind of get why I've never seen it. Cows. I mean, cows are interesting, but that sounds like a strange plot for a film.
I think it was kind of
Maybe
like, you know how Paris Hilton had her reality show where she went to go like live a normal life? I think that was like I think that was like the concept behind the movie. It was like these, rich
like they
sisters.
learn to live in the country, kind of.
Yeah.
I wonder if they got taught within the family, or did they go to a expensive like music teacher? You know, because going back to Heart, they're a sister dynamic that grew up on the tail end of the Great Depression. Like, no, I think their parents were part of the Great Depression, and so they got they were raised in a very tight, strict home, and they didn't. And it was a poor home too, so they had like money restraints. But they got their older sister a guitar for Christmas, but she didn't like it. So the younger sister, she would start playing it, and she became the guitarist for Heart. The older sister liked singing at church, and so she would sing. So they grew up in church with music, growing up learning that, and then they start writing their own music. During the 60s and 70s, they like the hippie wave, because
Mhm.
they're a part of that. And they have a song called Magic Man, and that's actually about their first boyfriend who lived in Canada, and he was also their manager for a while. Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm kind of cool like that. Like in spirit, they're kind of carrying that like a sister dynamic, but more modern day. Because Heart is like disbanded. Are these guys still going?
Yeah, they've released more songs since then.
I
Um,
feel like, as you said that they had a bunch of singles and they just like put them all into one album, right?
yeah.
So I'm thinking they're kind of going down the same road as Heart, because that's kind of what they did, and that's why they never went the distance. um, but I feel like they could, if they change up their music style, like their genres, like pop. Stick with pop because they're good at that. But change like the sound of it, make it like
Well,
maybe acoustic, instead.
they released a new single this month, and it's for like a full album, finally.
Mhm.
And it sounds really different, so I'll probably send it to you. But
I think they're like one of those groups that we've looked at, like BENEE. BENEE's good, but she's overshadowed by the Billy, you know?
the Billy and the Benny.
Yes, no, but for real, like I feel like a couple of performers, music artists have like taken up the mantle of Billy because they're either fans. I'm not saying that BENEE was a fan, because I think she did develop her music style before Billy, or like at the same time as Billy, but she was just overshadowed by her style and her like is she owes a lot to her brother who's a what's the word I'm looking for, a
Producer?
composer. he's a producer and a composer. You know, he makes music from scratch, and that's really important. It's like the Billie Eilish sound is good, but the music behind it is even better. I have to say, and they're both very talented. And that's another family duo. It's a brother and sister. But BENEE,
Dang.
I don't know what's going on with BENEE.
Maybe we
Because I
should
have
start making
no
music
idea.
together.
I feel like that would be a train wreck. But BENEE, I feel like she needs to get that traction. She needs to really catch her own style, and she does. She has unique ideas, like with Spider. That's a unique idea. AJ, Aly and AJ, they have novel ideas too. With Church and Attack of the Panic. Those are novel songs going on there. But they also had a few misses, like I can't remember the name of it. I think it might be With You, where it was kind of bland, or what's the other one?
Oh, was it Star Maps?
Star Map. That was the most. It was like plain yogurt with no flavoring. You know, it was like.
Dang.
I feel like they do have the capability. Both Aly and AJ and BENEE, they all have the capability to grow. It's just that they need to really catch on with a certain style, or maybe with a piggyback on a group, maybe like collab with some other artists and really like rake in the fans, because the fans is what lifts you up in the end. Well, you know, I'm saying all of this like I'm a pro, but I'm really just a nobody who can't carry a tune.
Looking at BENEE, her birthday is the 30th of January.
Oh shit.
And she's a year older than us. So, you know, she's
still
shit. You know, she's finding herself.
Yeah, she's still got time. Definitely.
And according to Wikipedia, once again, my reliable source, yeah, she came up at the same time as Billie.
What you gonna do?
Oh, and she's from New Zealand. So, those are some fun facts.
I promised to review the song Promises by AJ and Aly. Here, take a listen for yourself. I give it a 5 out of 10.